Beijing's offer to Ottawa is shaking up the continent, a direct challenge to Washington's dominance and a new era for Canadian trade.
Breaking tonight, the global trade order has shattered. China just made a move that could redefine power across the Western Hemisphere.
In a stunning address that echoed across the globe, Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney stood before Parliament and declared the end of Canada's economic partnership with the United States. The rupture between our countries began earlier this year when President Trump imposed sweeping tariffs on Canadian aluminum, lumber, and dairy, citing unfair trade practices. According to the Office of the United States Trade Representative, U.S. combined goods and services traded with Canada totaled an estimated $909.1 billion in 2024, with a goods deficit of $62 billion and a service surplus of around $33 billion. The estimated difference between the goods deficit and the service surplus is a massive negative trade deficit for the U.S. of $29 billion in favor of Canada. In other words, Canada made a profit from the deals, and the United States said goodbye to $29 billion, adding these additional billions to the country's growing debt. And this was just for the year of 2024. What was once a seamless partnership, anchored by America's charity, shared defense, and cultural affinity, is now strained by America's attempt to stop the debt through economic nationalism and political divergence. In the wake of America's economic battle with Canada, China has seized the opportunity to infiltrate Canada's trade corridors that were once dominated by American influence, as Canada's government announces an official divorce from American trade. Take a listen.
The history of nations, certainly the history of Canada, is punctuated by such times when our actions can be decisive. And we're in one now, to be clear. We're in one now. Technological change is accelerating rapidly. The world has become more dangerous and divided, and that decades-long process of an ever closer economic relationship between Canada and the United States is over. And as a consequence of particularly that last point, many of our former strengths, based on our close ties to America, have become our vulnerabilities. And this is happening fast. This is not a transition, it's a rupture. And it means that our economic strategy needs to change dramatically and rapidly. Above all, we will build Canadian. We'll be our own best customer. With our new Buy Canadian policy, when the government spends, we will select Canadian suppliers by default. No more will over 70 cents of every dollar of Canadian military spending go to the United States.
Thanks for watching, liking, and subscribing to The Daily Scan, reporting stories that matter to you.